what is a parallelogram and what are the basic theorem which is underlying the concept under the subject parallelogram. Under this topic we will be discussing the same, right? So in a parallelogram you need to understand that a parallelogram just looks like this, okay, whose opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other. And when the concept of parallel is come to you, when the concept of parallel came in front of you, then what will happen? That means the opposite angles of the parallelogram are equal. That is the theorem which is been followed, right? So the basic theorems which are followed is a diagonal of a parallelogram. Okay, if this is the diagonal of the parallelogram, this divides a parallelogram into two triangles of equal area. This is one of the theorem that is followed everywhere when there is a parallelogram, right? And another theorem is that when a parallelogram is given to you, then the opposite angles are always equal, right? It's very simple that you can see, right? You can assume AB and CD are two parallel lines. You should not assume, being a parallelogram, it is already given to you, right? Then if BD is the transversal, then you can see this angle is equal to this angle, right? Let's say this angle 1, this is angle 1, then definitely this angle will also be equal to 1, right? And if this is angle 2, right, then AD and BC are parallel lines, then BD again acting as a transversal, right? Then this angle will be equal to this angle, right? You can see 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, right? So 1 plus 2 is always equal to 1 plus 2 over here. Okay, in this way angle B is equal to angle D. So we can prove that theorem that the in a parallelogram the opposite angles are always equal, okay, as I have showed to you. Okay, this one and this one is equal, right, being an alternate angle. Similarly 2 is equal to 2. I'm changing my pen now. So we can see 1 plus 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 because 2 is alternate to this 2 and this one is alternate to this 2. So in any parallelogram the opposite angles are equal. This is a theorem. Opposite angles are equal. This is a property which is followed. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, then any diagonal of a parallelogram divides this parallelogram into two triangles, isn't it? And these two triangles are equal in area, right? As I have shown you that angle 1 will be equal to angle 1, angle 2 is equal to angle 2. So by side ASA, this triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2. So this is also a theorem which can be proved. So I have shown you the proof. ASA, angle 2 is equal to angle 2, angle 1 is equal to angle 1, and this BD is the common side. So by ASA we can prove that area of triangle ADB is equal to area of triangle CBD, right? Now, so we can say the another theorem which is always followed in a parallelogram is that a diagonal of a parallelogram divides into two triangles of which are congruent. Diagonal divides in two congruent triangles, right? This is another theorem which is followed, right? Now the another theorem which is followed is that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are always parallel and equal. So this is the basic property of a parallelogram, that is when ABCD is a parallelogram, then AB parallel to CD being in opposite sides, and AD is parallel to BC, and AD is parallel to BC. This is the main part. Okay, now, and these are not only parallels but they are also equal. The opposite sides are, so I'm writing opposite sides are parallel and equal, right? So now coming to the questions directly. So this is the basic thing which we need to understand before solving any question. So in the first question, it's given that two opposite angles of a parallelogram are 3x minus 2. So, okay. So if this is the parallelogram which is given to you, then the opposite angles, one angle is 3x minus 2 degree. This is one of the angle, right? If let's say ABCD is the parallelogram as given into this question, right? Then if one of the angle is 3x minus 2 degree, the two opposite angles of a parallelogram are 3x minus 2 degree and 50 minus x degree. If this is 3x minus 2, then this will be 50 minus x as given to you into the question, right? These two angles are given to you, right? Now find the measurement of each angles of the parallelogram. Then what is the value of angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D? This is how much, right? Just use the above property and see which can be applied over here, right? So here you can see the first property of the parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So use this property to solve this question. Okay, so you can see B and D are opposite angles, right? And this should be equal. So can't we say that 50 minus x is equal to 3x minus 2? 50 minus x equal to 3x minus 2, right? So in this way we can write by using property 1, that is this property, by property 1 opposite angles are equal. So 50 minus x equal to 3x minus 2. We can write 50 minus x equal to 3x minus 2, right? You can see this is a linear equation, one variable only, x and x, right? So just solve it using this theorem 1, that is opposite angles are equal. So 50 minus, just bring variables one side, then you will get 4x equal to 52, which will give you the value of x as 13 degree, right? So this value 3x minus 2 will be coming as, just put up the value of x to find out to get the value of this x, this B angle. Okay, 3x minus 2, so 3 times 13 minus 2, so this will be coming as 313 399 39 minus 2, that is equal to 37 degree. So 37 degree is the value of angle B. Angle B is calculated as 37 degree. This is calculated. Now what is the value of this? So here we should not say that 50 minus x equal to 3x minus 2, because the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So we can solve it to get the value. So you can directly put up the value over here, right? So 50 minus 39 minus 2 is equal to 37, and the 50 minus x is equal to 50 minus x is equal to 50 minus 13. So which will be coming as 50 minus 13, which will be coming as 37 degree, right? So 50 minus x is, you can see the same value, 37 degree. So the value of this angle D is calculated as 37 degree. This is calculated as 37 degree. You can see the opposite angles are equal, 37 and 37. So these are the two values of the angles B and D. So if this is 37, this is 37, then angle A and angle C can also be calculated very easily, isn't it? Angle A and angle C can also be calculated very easily. How? The interior opposite angles, these are the interior opposite angles, because you can see AB and CD are parallel lines and AD is the transversal, right? Then here can we say that angle A plus angle D equal to 180 degree? So the sum of interior opposite angles is 180 degree. This is also one of the theorem which we have missed over here. So we can say that in this theorem we can add one more point, that angle B plus C, sum of co-interior angles, sum of co-interior angles equal to 180 degree. So that's it. That is also one of the theorem. Basically this is followed for every parallel lines. Okay. Now here you can see angle A plus angle D following the same. We can say angle A plus angle D equal to 180 degree, right? Angle A is not known to you. So just keep it as a variable and put up the value of angle D. So what is the value of angle D? 50 minus x, which is coming as 37. So use this value of 37 degree, that is the value of angle B. So this will be coming as equal to 180 degree. So on solving it, we'll get the value of angle A. Changing the pen. Angle A is coming as 180 degree minus 37 degree, right? So 180 minus 37 is coming to you as, just subtract 180 minus 37. 180 minus 37. 10 minus 7, 3. 7 minus 3, 4. So this will be coming as 143 degree. So 143 degree is the value of angle A. So we can write angle A as 143 degree, this one. So angle A is calculated as 143 degree. Since the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, we can also say angle C as also equal to 143 degree, right? This is also equal to 143 degree. So we have calculated all the four angles of this parallelogram, right? Now coming on to the next question. If an angle of a parallelogram is two-third of its adjacent angle, right? That is, question is that if an angle of a parallelogram is two-third of adjacent angle, then all angles of that parallelogram need to be found, right? So if this is the parallelogram, let us see, if this is the parallelogram, right? And here, and let's say it's A, B, C and D, right? So here what's given? It's given that the adjacent, if an angle of a parallelogram is two-third of adjacent angle. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us assume this angle as x, right? If this angle is x, then there will be two adjacent angles. Okay, you can see then angle B and angle D, both of these angles are adjacent to, both of these angles are adjacent. Even this angle is adjacent and this is adjacent, right? And it's given that angle of a parallelogram is 2/3 of its adjacent angle, right? So if this is x, then this angle will be equal to how much? Just follow the question. 2 by 3 times x, right? And we also just recall the theorem which we have studied in the last page, okay, that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So in this way, if this is 2 by 3x, this angle will also, the angle D will also be equal to 2 by 3x. Why? This is proved, just you are contradicting your statement, then you are proving the same, that angle B is equal to angle D being an adjacent angle. This is 2 by 3x and this will also be equal to 2 by 3x. You can also see 2 by 3x, 2 by 3x both are equal and the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So in this way, this is proof that 2 by 3x is equal to 2 by 3x. Anyway, just we need to find the all values, all the angles of this parallelogram, because the adjacent angles are given as x and 2 by 3x. Now, you know that sum of the co-integer angles of a parallelogram is 180 degree, right? So, in a parallelogram ABCD, sum of co-integer angles, that is angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree, right? And the value of angle A is x. And what is the value of angle B? Is 2 by 3x, right? This will be add up to give you 180 degree, right? Now, just take the LCM and add it. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 by 3x. So, this will give you 5 by 3x is equal to 180 degree. And this will give you the value of x as 180 into 3 by 5, right? This will give you the value of x, that is equal to, in from 5 it will be 3 times 15, 30, 36. So 36 into 3, what will be 3 is 18, 108 degree. So the value of x is calculated as 108 degree. So this is one of the angle. So this is calculated as, this is calculated as equal to 108 degree, 108 degree. This is calculated at 108 degree, right? So this angle is calculated now. Now, what is the value of this angle? If this is 108, this angle is also equal to 108, isn't it? And if this angle B is equal to 2 by 3 times 108, so this angle is calculated like this. This will be equal to 2 by 3 times x, and x is 108. So put up the value of 108 over here. Okay. Now 3, 3, 9, 18, 3, 6. 36 into 2 equal to 72 degree. So the value of angle B is calculated as 72 degree. And you can cross verify it, because 108 plus 72 is equal to 180 degree. Okay. So the sum of co-interior angles of a parallelogram is 180 degree. So which you are getting by adding 108 with this angle 72, right? And since the opposite angles are equal, if this angle is, angle B is 72, then angle D is also equal to 72. This is equal to B, this is equal to angle B, which is equal to 72 degree, right? And similarly angle C is, we have already shown it's equal to angle A. So in this way all the four angles of a parallelogram is calculated. Now coming to the next question. It's given that find the measure of all angles of a parallelogram if one angle is 24 degree less than twice the smallest angle. Okay. The question is that find all angles of a parallelogram. Okay. Find all angles of a parallelogram. This is the question which is given to you. Find all angles of a parallelogram if the condition given is that if one angle, if one of the angle of that parallelogram is equal to 24 degree less, sorry, 24, yeah, 24 degree less, then what? 24 degree less than twice the smallest angle. 24 degree less than twice the smallest angle, right? So if this is the parallelogram, let us draw it. Just drawing a parallelogram will help you to solve the question because you are clearly visualizing the angles and all the concept which we were applying that can be easily understood, right? So here you can see in this ABCD parallelogram is given that one of the angle is 24 degree less than the twice the smallest angle. So let us assume this angle as a smallest. You can see this is obtuse and this is acute. So this can be the smallest angle. If D is equal to B, being a parallelogram, you can say we can assume this angle as X, the smallest angle. And as per the question, it's given that one angle is 24 degree less than twice the smallest angle. So that means this is not the same angle. This angle A, it's speaking about angle A and angle C, because if this is X, then definitely this angle B will also be equal to X, being opposite angles of a parallelogram, right? So this statement is definitely not for angle B or angle D. This statement is meant for angle A or angle C. So let us follow the same to form the equation. It's given that angle, if one angle is 24 degree less than twice the smallest angle. So let's say this is Y, right? Then angle C will also be equal to Y. Then as per the relation as given into the question, Y, that is the another angle, is equal to 24 degree less. So that means minus 24 degree will be applied, right? Then twice the smallest angle. Then twice the smallest angle. So smallest angle is X. You can see it's an acute. So this relation is formed. Now solve it. Since y equal to 2x minus 24, we can say that and sum of co-interior angles, that means x plus y, sum of co-interior angle is equal to 180 degree, right? We have already seen it. This is a property. Now what we will do, if this angle is x and this angle is y, then we can say that angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree, isn't it? If angle A and angle D equal to 180 degree, then we can say y plus x equal to 180 degree, right? And this is one of the relation which we have derived, that is y equal to 2x minus 24 as given into the question. So just use the same over here. Okay. Then we, in place of y, put 2x minus 24. So we can write it as 2x minus 24, that is the value of y, plus x equal to 180 degree, right? Then 2x plus x will add up to 3x, and when 24 will go to the RHS, you will be getting 180 plus 24, right? So that is equal to 204 degree into the RHS. This will give you the value of x as 204 by 3. That means the value of x is coming as 3, 6, 18, 24, 38, 68 degree. So one of the angle which was the first variable on which the second variable was dependent, that is x, its value is calculated as equal to 68 degree, right? Now what will be the value of y? By equation 1, we can see, by above equation we can say y equal to 2x minus 24, right? So which will be coming as 2 into 68 degree minus 24. 2 into 68 will be coming as 2, 16, 136, right? So 136 minus 24. So this is coming in the value of y as 136 minus 24. So what is the value? What is the value of that? 136 minus 24 is 6 minus 4 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 112 degree is the value of y. 112 degree. So this value is calculated as 112 degree. And when you add x with y, this will be add up to 180 degree. This is satisfied. And you know the opposite angles are equal. So if this is 112, this angle is also equal to 112. I mean to say angle C, because angle A is equal to angle C, and angle B will be equal to angle D, right? So if angle D is 68 degree, then angle B is also equal to 68 degree. So in this way we have calculated angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. So all the four angles are calculated over here, right? So as we discussed in today's class, this question, these are the important questions. This is one of the question which we discussed, right? That if angle of a parallelogram is 2/3 of its adjacent angle, find all the angles. So in this way we solve this question. Okay, the second question, and the another question which we discussed into the beginning was this one. Okay, so we just understand the concept underlying for a parallelogram, and we took one of the question that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are 3x minus 2 and 50 minus x. Then we are calculating the values of those angles. So that we have done, right? So in this way, students, you can solve more and more examples and more questions. You'll be able to get the basic concept of all the underlying theories and theorems, and all those concepts will be cleared. Okay, so do more and more practices. Okay, just start preparing for your examinations right now. Okay, don't waste the time. You can utilize your time, just put some time so that you can achieve the things well on time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Bye.